All right, last minute betting with the Sports Nuts. We're here, Bob, Mike, ready to talk a little sports, a little betting. Got to keep things going. Don't forget, this is OddsJam, the OddsJam YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And don't forget, sign up for those links below. Best sports books in your state, folks. You need them. Mike can tell you. And don't forget the OddsJam Partner Program. Sign up for 20% of everything with that link that you share. 20% of the revenue coming in. And here we do that live fade out like I always do. And Mike, big news today. In the Masters, Tiger Woods shoots a 1 under 71. Buddy, that is absolutely huge, and he's actually tied for 10th place right now. And I'm going to tell you, who would have thought they saw that coming? Tiger is going to be there for the weekend. I believe he's going to make the cut. And, Mike, I'm telling you, if he's within 5 or 6 shots of the lead on Sunday, you better watch out. Augusta National will be nuts.
No two ways about it. And so far, so good for him. We will see how he holds up through the weekend. And I'm rooting for him. I'm sure a lot of people are. You can't help but root for a guy that has done so much for the game and been so exciting to watch for, for a lot of people their whole lifetime, depending on your age. I mean, anybody around my age in your 30s, I mean, Tiger's been around since you were a little kid and doing this stuff. So unreal.
That's right. That's right. All right. So we're going to do today's sports and just kind of look at what's happening. I'm going to give you a rundown on where the Masters is at right now. Sungjae Im is leading at -5. He's through 17. Cameron Smith will not go away. He's tough, man. -4. His round is finished. DJ is coming back. Dustin Johnson -4. And then Danny Willett, Joaquin Niemann, Scotty Scheffler. Here he comes again. Chef -3. And Tiger is at -1, and that's tied for 10th with Tony Finau, Daniel Berger, Kevin Na, Webb Simpson, and Harold Varner, Rory McIlroy, and Matthew Fitzpatrick. So great stuff there.
At a time, Bob, we probably would have said, okay, if Dustin Johnson is in the mix, he probably has no shot, but he's finally, gotten over that hump. But don't you think it's safe to say that Dustin Johnson is going to be in the mix to win this thing?
Oh, definitely. DJ is he's got a little fire under him. All right, let you know what's going on in Major League Baseball. Mike, we got live scoreboards. This is great. Cubs beat the Brewers 5-4. The Royals are beating the Guardians 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th. And, in St. Louis, Father Time says no. Adam Wainwright is pitching a gem. 5-0 Cardinals over the Pirates. Opening day in St. Louis. Nothing like it, right, Mike?
No doubt. And I want to point out in that Cubs-Brewers game, Ian Happ had a huge day, Bob. Ends up having 3 hits, 2 RBIs. We talked a few days ago when we broke down the NL Central. We said the Cubs were going to be better than what I think people expect. I think this proves it right here. I know it's only one game. You can't overreact. But I don't think the Cubs are just going to quietly not be in the mix in this NL Central.
Okay, and I could buy that, but let me tell you something, bud. Tyler O'Neill, 4 RBIs, and I'm telling you right now, with my grandson Maddox sitting right there, I said he's going to hit one out, and he sure as heck did on the next pitch. Baby, yeah! I wish I could have put in a bet for that. All right. In the NBA, Philadelphia is at Toronto tonight. We didn't talk about this game earlier. Toronto needs to solidify their spot, and Philadelphia is in that, with Boston and Milwaukee. I think Toronto's got a shot to win this game with the crowd there.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's going to help them, and I think that They have been playing well as of late too, and Siakam especially has been, he's put himself in the conversation, not MVP or anything like that, but he's put himself in the conversation of over the course of the last month or so, he's been playing about as good a basketball as anybody has, at least in the top 6, 7, I mean, there's not, you can only name a handful of guys that have played better than him down the stretch. And I think that Toronto is no doubt a team that can hang with Philadelphia tonight. And I think they're going to.
And then you got Boston at Milwaukee, which once again, that's the other two teams that are, here's the records, folks. For second place in the East, Boston is at 50-30. So they have 2 more games left, one tonight and then one after that. And then you've got Philly and Milwaukee both at 49-30. I think you better watch out for the Bucks. I think the defending champs are ready to go off on everybody. What do you think?
I mean, there's no doubt that Milwaukee's going to be obviously the favorite right now, I think. And a lot will probably be made of this game right here, this matchup, Boston and Milwaukee. I'm not going to take too much out of this game in terms of who I think is better than who in this instance. I mean, you've got Boston, who's coming off of a game last night at Chicago. So it's hard to say, with this game, who's going to really solidify themselves. Obviously, the winner puts themselves in a better spot seeding wise, but in terms of heading into the playoffs, who it makes the better team, I don't know. Other than, who really wants to match up with the Brooklyn Nets, in all honesty.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that.
If you really think about it, with these teams down the stretch, you're fighting for those top seeds. Boy, do you really want to have to see Brooklyn in the first round, man?
I got to give you a something that solidifies a play that you made earlier in the player props video that we did for the NBA. Jordan Poole has scored at least 20 points in the last 17 games. The only other players currently doing so are Joel Embiid, Jokic, and Devin Booker. Wow.
Yeah, he's been playing unbelievable for them, and that's without Steph. And it's going to be interesting for Golden State to see how that translates when Steph comes back. You would think Steph being an unselfish player, a team guy, the leader of that squad, I don't see any issues. So I think that those two are going to be able to mesh. Obviously, Klay Thompson and his health and Draymond Green and his health will be key. And, we'll have to see with Steph when we're going to see him exactly.
All right. In the NHL, Pittsburgh is at the Rangers. Those two are in a dogfight for that second and third spot in their division. And I totally expect, I'm not going to even give you a pick here because this game is on my radar for my lock. And then the other one is an interconference matchup between Toronto and Dallas. And I'm telling you right now that the Dallas Stars are primed to make the playoffs, and they need this win more than Toronto does. The East is pretty well, maybe the positions aren't set, Mike, but nobody else is going to sneak in. The 8 teams that are going to be in the playoffs are going to be in the playoffs, okay? The Islanders are not making the playoffs, They're not going to catch Washington. So, Washington has the last wild card. That's probably where they're going to stay. And, then you've got anybody from Tampa to Boston to Pittsburgh right now could wind up in that 7th spot in the wild card. East is very interesting in that regard. But in the West, Dallas wants to push. They've got games in hand on Vegas. They want to push them further down the ladder. I fully expect the Dallas Stars to win this game at home tonight against the Maple Leafs.
Let me start with the Rangers and Penguins. These two teams have kind of been going in opposite directions. The Rangers just have their 4-game winning streak snapped, have been playing pretty good as of late. Meanwhile, the Penguins, they've lost 5 of their last 7 games. They have been bad and going in the wrong direction. A team at one time, I think we all thought, especially whenever they picked up who did they grab from Anaheim? Was it Fowler?
Raquel.
I'm sorry. When they picked him up, I thought that solidified them to maybe contend a little bit, and they've really struggled as of late. Now, Pittsburgh is decent on the road. They're 22-9-5 on the road. The Rangers are 22-7-4 at home. So obviously, you'd have to give the advantage to the Rangers being at home and the fact that the Penguins have been bad as of late. Now, in that Dallas-Toronto game, Bob, I don't know what makes you think Dallas has this so much in the bag.
I never said it was in the bag. I fully expected
you made it out like that. You told me that earlier. Toronto's won 5 of their last 7, Bob. They're a respectable 20-12-4 on the road.
They're coming west, and you got to remember, it was just a couple of years ago that this Dallas Stars team was in the finals, Mike. It's not like
they've been hot. They've been hot. They've won 7 of their last 9. They've been on fire. They're getting hot at the right time. They're familiar with doing this. They've been there. They've done that. They're a team that has history of going on a deep playoff run recently in recent years. It's an organization that you can say you trust in the playoffs. They're not known to be a team to necessarily choke. I mean, I know they haven't won the cup since the early 2000s, but still they've been a respectable team. Now, Toronto is a team, in my opinion, that.
Okay, I'm just going to.
You're going to cut me off. You're going to cut me off because you don't want to be proven wrong.
No, I'm not going to cut you off.
Look at who Toronto's played as of late.
Look, listen to me. I know who they played, okay? But the Central Division has 5 teams, Mike, with 40 wins. The only division in all of hockey. And that's where the Dallas Stars play. And if you want to win the cup, you're going to have to go through that Central Division, buddy.
You're speaking as a Blues fan, and you're getting.
I'm not.
The Dallas Stars are not a team direct to look. Toronto is a much better team than Dallas. I'm sorry.
No, they're not. Defensively, defensively, the Toronto Maple Leafs are not a good team. They are not. They blew the game against Florida the other night.
But Florida's potent offensively.
I don't care. You got to play defense. Look at these totals: 50, 43, 40. And these two teams here, 40 and 40. Those are all Central Division teams. There is not another division in all of hockey with that many 40-win teams. Okay, Mike? These guys in the East, they have beaten the heck out of Montreal and New Jersey and Philadelphia and Ottawa and Buffalo and Detroit. That's 6 teams that are way down. Now, I understand. You've got
Arizona's not anything to be bragging on.
Chicago and San Jose and Anaheim, but there are 6
good.
There are 6 teams in that East that are not good teams, and that's all. The only point I want to make. I think that the Dallas Stars are primed. It's one of my picks in my hockey video, and if it comes through, it's positive money, baby.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
All right, let's see what happens. All right, it's time to do a little positive EV, and go to the positive EV page, and I'm going to share my screen again. Mike loves it when I get on a roll like that. He thinks I'm totally a homer, but honestly, I really think the Western Conference is the better conference in hockey. All right, I'm going to refresh.
I think you've proven to be that, Bob.
I'm going to refresh this page. Now, I have one play that I had added yesterday that is still popping up on the positive EV, Mike. And that is this under 6.5 goals in the Montreal and New Jersey game. That's at the Devils. It was plus 105 on the OddsJam perfect line, and it is in Barstool at plus 117. So that is one play right there. Mike, there are a ton of hockey player props, a ton of NBA player props. If you go through this, there's just a ton of plays here. Are there anything that you could come along with that stand out in your mind?
Well, I mean, Joel Embiid's got a PRA out there right now of over 47.5. It looks like you can get that at minus 120 right now. OddsJam Perfect Line's minus 159. I mean, the fact he's in an MVP race, you have to think that Joel Embiid is playing for not only that, but being one of the top dogs in the East. I think we should ride that.
Okay, I'm going to put it in here. I'm not sure. You know, the problem I got with Embiid, he's talked about this MVP, and it's like really important to him. And
exactly. Well, that's more reason to ride him.
I don't think
that's more reason to ride him.
I don't think he should be worrying about that. You know, I mean, you got to help your team win.
He is helping his team win.
You need to help.
Pretty well the only reason his team's winning, more or less.
Okay.
They're a good team. I shouldn't say it's just him. Harden has been respectable.
Okay. All right. I've got one here, and that is a play on Nico Hischier of the Devils, minus 125 of over 2.5 shots on goal, player shots on goal, minus 125 on the OddsJam Perfect Line, minus 104 on FanDuel. I will add that to my bet tracker because I think that's a play that will hit. And by the way, my player props in hockey video, I took 3 plays, all under 2.5 shots on goal. We'll see how that works out. You know how the
we're also going to take Giannis over 12.5 rebounds, getting that at minus 106, minus 133 is the OddsJam Perfect Line. We snagged that.
Okay. That one I am digging on. I'm definitely digging on that one.
Yeah, that one pops out to me.
What about this Derek White PRA? Under 24.5. How you feel about that one?
Oh, I'm not touching that one.
Okay, and then I got a question for you on the Brook Lopez one. Another under PRA.
The lines have ripped, Bob. You interrupted me. I got to give this one out because we just talked about him. The Jordan Poole over 24.5. Lines have just absolutely ripped towards him at minus 105. We can get that at now.
Okay. I'm just asking you about Brook Lopez, who had a big game the other night.
Yeah, I saw some on him. Looks like you're looking to fade him. I'm not touching those.
Okay. All right. That's all I need to know. If you say to fade him, I'm with you. The Jordan Poole over 24.5. Yes, we hit that. Minus 105. Beautiful. All right. Let me show you guys a bet tracker here real quick because that's part of what we do. Here at OddsJam, as you can see, $377 in profit. I got $290 in bets out, buddy. You know, I got a lot of bets out there today. Whew. A big one came through last night. Return on investment of my completed bets is 3.9%, 54.3% of my closing line value on the bets that I placed. There's my profit over time by sportsbook. As you can see, points bet numero uno. By sport, basketball has taken over the profit, man. And by bet type, normal and positive EV has taken over the profit. So there you go. There is
one more on one more, Bob. We need to give out. This one's on Caesars. Very important to give this one out. Under 6.5 assists for CJ McCollum, minus 110 on Caesars. OddsJam Perfect Line on that was minus 143, so we will take that.
Okay. All right. There you go. Positive EV plays, folks. You know, we give them out player props every day. You got to go to the OddsJam YouTube channel and you've got to subscribe. You know, you want to get notifications of what's happening, you know, like and subscribe. So with that being said, it's been a heck of a opening day of baseball. It's been great. We've enjoyed ourselves today. And Mike and I are going to have a show later on. It won't be a live stream. It'll be a video of some early betting. So you know what? You got to stick with the OddsJam YouTube channel. Oh, you know what, Mike? We can't leave yet. I got to give my lock of the night. Are you kidding me? Because you know what my record is now after hitting the 2 last night? 12-10, baby. Look out. Bob's coming after you. Coming after you. My lock of the night tonight is the New York Rangers at home against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm taking them on the money line. Now, I locked this in earlier today, but I am going to see where it's at right now. And it is minus 115 on BetMGM. So minus 115 on the money line for the Rangers. That is my lock of the night. Mike, what do you got for me, man? What's your lock?
I'm going with the T-Wolves minus 7.5. I'm snagging that bad boy over the Spurs, so you can book that as well.
Okay, and let me real quick
Standard
find
juice
this.
minus 110.
Okay. All right. Minus 7.5, minus 110. And where are you getting that at?
You can get it just about anywhere right now. There's several sports books you can grab that play. I would prefer if you go to Caesars and snag that.
Well, let me tell you. Now, you went 7.5, right?
Yes.
This is how quick the lines move. It just popped up at BetMGM at plus 105.
Wow.
It just constant. Yes, I know. And you could get minus 7 at DraftKings at minus 105. So that's the way it works. That's why you have OddsJam. That's why you do this. That's Mike's lock of the night. That's it for last minute betting with the Sports Nuts. We'll see you later. I'm not sure we're doing the show tomorrow night. Mike and I are going to be in St. Louis. Hopefully going to catch a game or two. Peace. See ya.